What's happening is their phones are just blowing up. Mark Stein has his phone on charge. His thumbs are going a million miles a minute. Chris Broussard has one phone charging, another one in his hands. They haven't stopped since this news broke, and clearly they're working this story. They're working other angles because now that LeBron is going to Cleveland, as anticipated, a lot of these other moves are going to start to happen, and they're going to happen at lightning speed. It was that way a couple of years ago. What do we know right now about these other moves?
Well, the first thing is just checking out Kevin Love, as you would expect, very intrigued by the idea of winding up in Cleveland. And as what I'm being told from a source close to the situation, he would commit to the long term there. And that's the thing with Kevin Love. No team can trade for him unless you're sure you can re-sign him, because he can become a free agent in 2015. And that's why Golden State has been at the front of the line for so long, because Love liked the idea of winding up with the Warriors. The Warriors, to this point, have refused to give up Klay Thompson, and that's why that deal stalled. Now, they have to realize that Cleveland is a very real threat. This thing, very tough decision for the Warriors.
They might have to raise their
They got to get Klay Thompson on the table, or they're going to lose.
What does Minnesota want from Cleveland? Any indication?
Well, they're going to want Andrew Wiggins. They would love to do it without putting Wiggins in the trade, and maybe, like Mark said earlier, they could swing a 3-team deal where you send better players to Minnesota and don't have to give up Wiggins. But if I'm Minnesota, I'm not budging off Andrew Wiggins. We know the Cavaliers definitely are going to play with LeBron and try to win right away. And I think even if Golden State puts Klay Thompson in there now, as good as he is, I think you got to go for Andrew Wiggins because of what his potential is.
Sure. The conventional wisdom up till now has been Flip Saunders, the team president, is now also coaching. He wants ready-made guys who can play, doesn't want to go through a rebuilding process with young kids. So that's why Golden State was always seen as a likely trade partner. The other teams interested, Boston, Phoenix, and others, have mostly based their offers on draft picks and young guys. But if you could get Wiggins, Bennett, Waiters, we're talking the last 2 number 1 picks, a young guy like Waiters, probably another future draft pick. When you get a haul like that, you have to look at it strongly.
And remember, you're Minnesota. These guys will be locked up for several years. You could keep their out free agency. And with Wiggins and Bennett, they're from Canada. And that's, a climate that's similar to Minnesota in part. Maybe that plays in, and those guys will be comfortable.
And I know Bennett had a rough rookie season. People can talk. He's slimmed down. He is a guy who still intrigues a lot.
There were flashes of that.
If they can get Wiggins, Bennett, another young guy like Waiters, and a future pick or whatever it is. I mean, the point is, Cleveland has a ton to put on the table here and get back in.
What is the biggest buzz right now? Is that safe to say?
What Houston's doing with Houston now is working feverishly. This is great for the Rockets because at least they have clarity. At least they know LeBron has decided to make their move.
Let's talk more about the man who has yet to drive a car in the NBA, and now he's been given the keys to the Maserati, and that's David Black.